be streaming.
It looks like we're streaming, and we got levels.
We got levels.
We got music.
So it sounds like we're streaming, my friend. So let's just get rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
I mean, we did some pre-show stuff already between us, just catching up for a minute here.
A little bullshit.
Looks like we're rocking. You got us rocking over there with the chat.
Yeah, we're streaming.
Shout out to anybody and everybody who joins us. Please follow, subscribe, share. Do that across all the different platforms. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be streaming to TikTok. We will be streaming to Facebook. We will be streaming to Spotify. We will be streaming to a lot of different places live, which is going to be awesome, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, so please follow, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. YouTube, Champscast, that's Champs with a Z, throwing it back to Sports Zone Heritage. Follow, please. We appreciate
Let's go.
it. And with that being said, let's hit some music. Let's hit a record button.
Show really can't start till the music's playing. Need the music.
It's good to be back, yeah. So simple.
So good.
But so nice every week to say.
And also knowing, right, we weren't able to be in the studio together last week. And
this is the last time we're going to be in studio for the next 4 weeks, I believe. We're going to be doing remote because I will be in sunny Florida.
Sunny beautiful
West Florida.
While us here in Jersey.
Go back into the deep freeze.
You're going to go back to the deep freeze. Look, if we go back to the cold, I could live with that, but you give me more snow, and I'm going to come stay with you. So I hope you and Janice are ready if that happens.
We're ready for
I'll look at Amanda and Stephanie and be like, I will see you on Wednesday before the wedding for the rehearsal dinner, and I'm out because I just can't do more snow. It just makes me so happy seeing it all melted away. I can actually see my yard.
Well, the last 2 days have been absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, perfect. You couldn't ask for better weather.
No. Spring weather.
Yes.
This is spring. Spring has sprung a few weeks early just to tease you because next week it's going to be 40 again. So you got a taste of it, though, and it felt nice. So hopefully you'll get more and more of it as the weeks start, flying by here. Time waits for no one. It flies.
No, it keeps going. It keeps going whether you like it or not. Want to slow it down, want to speed it up.
No. I mean, it's going so fast that we have already pretty much hit practically because we're free agency. We've hit free agency.
We're at the legal tampering period, so you got to be careful with that, right? Because everything that you hear technically is not written in stone. It can change.
It can, but more than likely it won't.
It very rarely ever does. Usually what you hear now is what's going to happen. Sometimes dollar amounts change, maybe a year added, year taken away on a contract. But Andrew Brandt, not sure if you know who Andrew Brandt is, right? Yeah. So Andrew Brandt perfectly says, the contract that you hear about is not the contract that's actually going to get played, right? The guy's going to make whatever money is guaranteed. Everything else is up in the air. He's going to play for at least 1 year, maybe 2 years based off of the length of the contract. Everything else is up in the air. But there's definitely been, it's funny talking about how we kind of jumped right into this, right? We were 40 degrees just, 3 days ago, and now we had almost 70 yesterday up by me, broke 70 today. We really dove into it yesterday, right? And it really, really kind of slowed down today. And I think it's the stereotypical experience of the NFL offseason, right? Everybody goes after the big names early, first day, try to get everybody. And then after that, it's okay, well, I don't think this guy's worth that. I'm not going to get into a bidding war. And you see things kind of pump the brakes a touch, right? And things slowly start to happen as the coming weeks.
2 and 3 and 4 guys.
And a lot of that, too, has to do with where you're drafting, right? If you think a guy that plays a position that you're going to be able to draft, you're not going to get aggressive in free agency to go get somebody else, right? But overall, I think it's been... I don't think there's anything that's been overly shocking.
No.
To me. Maybe today with something coming very full circle.
Well, with Geno, I'm guessing. But before we even touch on Geno, I think the biggest one, and maybe you would argue against it, But I don't see it as impactful as everybody else does, and maybe you could talk me out of it. Now, I know he just won Super Bowl MVP. But Kenneth Walker going to Kansas City, everybody's like, oh, the Chiefs are back. They got they're going to hand it off a million times to Kenneth Walker. He's going to be there. I don't, Kenneth Walker's a very good young running back. Very good. But do I think he's going to have the same experience in Kansas City that he did in Seattle? I don't know if he does, to be honest. And that's where, yeah, he's coming off a really good year, but how many really good years has he put together in a row? And that's, yes, he had a great Super Bowl and carried the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, but don't expect him to carry this team the whole season. I can tell you that, especially with no Patrick Mahomes. I kind of think that, people are like, oh my God, the Chiefs. I don't think this moves the needle without Mahomes playing.
Why wouldn't Mahomes be playing?
Isn't he hurt? Didn't he get hurt at the end of the year?
Yeah, he got hurt. He said he should be back for the
Is
start
he back
of
for
the
the
season.
Check that out, because I thought he was missing part of the year.
He should be back.
I thought he was missing at least the first 2, 3, 4 weeks.
I think he is. I think
Maybe
he's
I'm wrong.
expected to be back and ready to go. But I think, look, to me, does it make me all of a sudden make the Chiefs the Super Bowl favorite? Not at all.
He's rehabbing a torn ACL. Yeah.
And so reports suggesting he could be ready for training camp in July and potentially 100% for week 1. He's attacking rehab with a relentless mindset. So that's torn ACL and LCL. I mean, I'm not going to even act like I know what an LCL is, but we know most guys coming back from an ACL injury tend to need about a full year. So, I mean,
he can rush it and come back early, great. But what does that do? It's like Rodgers. You're going to rush and come back early, but if you're not 100% yourself, if you're 60% of what Mahomes is, then that's not the Mahomes that's going to win them a championship. So does Kenneth Walker? I'll pose the question again. Does that move the needle? Because to me, it doesn't.
I mean, I think it makes them a better team, right? I think he's better than Kareem Hunt. I think he's better than Pacheco.
Pacheco now went up to the Lions, by the way. I heard he's
good. That's a nice replacement for Montgomery. He's not as good as Montgomery, but he's going to be required. He's not going to be asked to do a lot with Gibbs being your feature back.
And speaking of Montgomery, though, what is he doing? He's going to a place where he's still not a number one necessarily.
He should be the number one in Houston.
If Mixon's healthy, what makes him automatically better than Mixon?
I mean, Mixon was a mystery last year.
But the year before, he was phenomenal. Yeah, and he wasn't hurt. Last year, he was hurt a bunch.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where it's to me, I don't know which guy you're getting, and he's in a spot where he's still sharing load.
I mean, he's definitely still sharing the load, but I think he understands that he's going to get more of that load. Or let's use a less
he's taking the load.
A less horrible term that people can read too much into. He's going to get more of the carries than he would in Detroit, right? I think that offense, I think in Detroit's going to be Gibbs centric, right? And
Gibbs is getting a majority.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Gibbs, St. Brown, and then everybody else, right? And there's other guys that are full of potential on that team that can make plays and all that, but I think you're going to see. I think Montgomery will get a lot more carries. Yes, I'm going to say it that way, than compared to Detroit. But I think when you look back to the original point, right? I think Walker makes their offense better, but I don't think it takes them from what they were last year and puts them back at the top of the AFC. I don't even think it puts them back at the top of the AFC West, right? So if Mahomes is healthy and Mahomes starting in week 1, then maybe we're having a different conversation, right? But part of what makes Mahomes is his ability to dance around the pocket. He is the fastest, slow-running person I've ever seen in my life. You watch him, and he just doesn't look like he's moving fast, but yet people really struggle catching him. You know what I mean? So, what is this injury going to mean in that aspect of his game? Because that's part of what's really...
He's slower coming back. Now, maybe he gets back to Moan, but coming back immediately,
that's a big chunk of what he does. So, yeah, does it move the needle when it comes down to the talent and what I think Kansas City can be on offense? Yes, but it doesn't move the needle to the point where I'm sitting here and I'm like, they're officially your AFC West favorites again. They're officially your favorites in the AFC as a whole. Like, I think if Mahomes is 100% in week 1, then I will recant this statement and adjust accordingly. But I just don't see how you tear your ACL and LCL in December, and by September you're good to go and 100%. I mean, you don't see that happen. I mean, I don't care what position you play, right? Like it doesn't matter. I mean, if you think back, remember when Brady tore his ACL? Mm-hmm. That was week 1. Brady, he was back for week 1, but it took him a while to kind of get back into being Tom Brady. Now, the flip side of that point is Brady was never a runner and never a scrambler, right? Like, Brady's pocket movement was step this way, step that way, step left, step right. Mahomes is spinning in circles and running this way and doing all these crazy things.
That's why I compared him to Rodgers. He's more of a guy like Rodgers was, that could use his legs, but, was still a pass-first guy, but, had escapability. Once Rodgers started having that Achilles and other injuries, he lost that step. It wasn't the same anymore. He didn't have that. Now he's a mess. Like, you have to protect Aaron Rodgers. He can't get out of his own way. And that's what I worry about with Mahomes. So he's getting what? Mahomes got to be about 30 years old now, 31 years old. No?
Yeah, he's probably 29 to 31. He's definitely in that window.
In that window, like prime age.
Yeah.
To get hurt like this in your prime, and then, because once you're 32, 33.
No, me and you would kill to go back to being that age
Oh,
again. Yeah. Oh my God, I'd kill for that. I hurt my shoulder almost 2 weeks ago, and it still freaking hurts.
Let me show you something, actually.
Hey, Dimmy, there he is. Mr. Fighting Irish himself. What's up, good sir? How you doing? But yeah, I'd kill to go back to my late 20s, early 30s. That's for damn sure. But I think
can you do that?
I don't think I could hold it. And
I held it for minutes, dude. I was actually
yeah. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, can we get it up on the camera a little bit? Zoom it.
I don't know if they can't really see.
Oh, here. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you got to see Mr. Treslar here. Look at that guy. Look at him.
Loose and limber.
Look at him. Not bad for 41. Look at him. He's doing good. I honestly don't know if I could do that. I genuinely don't know.
Well, it started with my brother-in-law trying it, and he couldn't do it. And I looked at him. I'm like, hey, I could do that. And he was
did somebody have to hand you your foot?
No.
You were able to just get on the belly and
I did it all myself. I'll do it right here, right now.
So wait, you got on the belly, then brought the feet back? Yeah, I couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you right now, I couldn't do that. My one knee is a mess from playing basketball growing up. My one knee is a mess. It cracks every time I try to bend it too much.
Oh, I creak and crack, but I did it. I was impressed with myself even. But either way, getting back on track here.
But Kevin, so you kind of
went off the rails.
You mentioned Rodgers, right? And do you think the moves Pittsburgh has made are moves they're making in hopes to get him to come back? I mean, you bring in Rico Dowdle,
which to me again,
it's a little okay. It's an okay move.
He's coming off his best season, but yeah, it's an okay.
It's an okay move, right? I don't know how much of an upgrade it really is from
Warren, right?
Yeah, they had Jalen Warren and what's his name that he signed somewhere else as well. The scat back. I even picked him up in fantasy. Now I'm drawing a blank on his name. Well, he signed somewhere else, but you bring in Dowdle, they make the trade and get Pittman Jr. from Indy. So now you have him to pair with DK Metcalf. You still got Freiermuth, who is a serviceable tight end. The offensive line, to me, is still a big question mark. The defense is still getting older. Well, I'm saying, do you think they're making these moves in hopes that it convinces Rodgers to come back for another year?
I wouldn't bring him back. Why would you? What? You saw what happened last year. You were pretty much a 500 team. with Rodgers.
I would have kept Justin
the playoffs
Fields
or whatever. Like, yes, but yeah, I just don't say it. I don't get it. And does Rodgers want to go? I mean, I think Rodgers is going to play again. I mean, I think he still sees dollar signs. He still knows he's going to get 40 million a year.
I think Rodgers is a guy that just doesn't want to be forgotten. Like, I think Rodgers is a guy that doesn't want to leave the spotlight. Like, that to me is probably he's made enough money in his career.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, if he wants the spotlight that bad, they'd pick him up. One of the networks would pick him up in a heartbeat. So, I mean,
he's already a regular guest on the McAfee show. And literally will come out and say, I don't want the attention, then goes on the McAfee show and makes comments that draw attention.
But that's what I'm saying. So do you think he really wants the attention, or he doesn't, or he just wants to be able to dip in and dip
I
out?
100% think he's an attention whore. 110% think that man thinks he's one of the greatest gifts God has ever created, and he wants to try and remind people of it as often as he possibly can. Like when he went and did his little retreat in the tent in the or whatever drug ayahuasca, right? Like nobody needed to know you did that. Literally nobody. Like my opinion of you did not change knowing that you did it. And my opinion of you...
Hold on, wait. Athlete does drugs. Like... Okay, water is wet. Like, there you go. Where's the story?
Like that was
if that's it. Like if you're at a news station, the producer would look at you and say, "Where's the story?"
Yeah, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, he wanted to figure out what he wanted to do with his career, so he went and locked himself in a dark tent and tripping on drugs." Like, cool. Like, really happy for you.
He wanted to go to Egypt. Great.
Like,
cool.
So happy for you, right?
Yeah.
The story was I decided to skip my first couple of weeks of training camp with the Jets so I could go to Egypt. Like. Yeah. Cool. Like, so I don't see him not coming back because I think Pittsburgh wants him back. Because right? I think the McCarthy hire to them was one of those things, let's hire a name, but deep down inside, like we're really kind of hoping this whole thing flops so that we can finally get a higher draft pick and start. You need a quarterback of the future. That man is not on your roster. Like, he's not. Rodgers comes back. You still don't have a quarterback for the future. The NFL is a quarterback-driven league. It's just like not having a top-tier point guard in the NBA. These positions are the most valuable on the field or on the court, whatever you want to call it. They are the most valuable, and if you don't have it, you are not going anywhere. So I think it was interesting, some of the moves that they made. They definitely went and got some players that I think can make impacts for them. But without a quarterback, how much does that really mean? I don't know, right? And then, you look at another team that I'm kind of surprised on how things have gone for them so far, the Packers. We're looking at it now, right? Romeo Doubs goes and signs with the Patriots. They traded, what's his name, to the Cowboys for a 4th-round pick. The pass rusher, they released their Pro Bowl center or guard. It's almost like they're trying to clean house. And are you trying to set up your coach for failure so that you can get him out after a year or two? Like, what are you doing there? Because you have your quarterback
not working though, and they just said, "Listen, we need to change some things."
Yeah. But if you're Jordan Love and you're sitting there, you're like, you got rid of arguably my best offensive lineman and one of my best wide receivers. Like, what are we doing? Like, the Packers have only lost players. Like, they haven't brought anybody in that's going to move the needle for that team. So, are we going youth movement here? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the lack of action by certain teams has surprised me more than the actions made by teams that have made actions. Like the Packers, the Eagles make their first move and they sign Woolen from the Seahawks to just a 1-year deal. So now they have a really good secondary, but there's rumors out there they're looking at trading Jordan Davis because of locker room and personality issues. A.J. Brown has been talked about being traded all season long, but apparently that picked up a lot of momentum, and then that momentum basically completely died, and now they're kind of in this weird spot. so you sit there and you kind of just have to say to yourself, like, what are the game plans, right? Like, what is your thought process when it comes down to how you're handling this start to where you want to get to, right? So I'm a little surprised by that. But, like, as a Cowboy fan, like, I'm okay with what they've done so far. I'm not amped about it, but I'm not pissed about it. Like, I think they still need to find a linebacker, a defensive end, at least 1 or 2 corners. Like, we have 2 first-round draft picks. So now they're bargain shopping like they do every single freaking year, right? Your Giants go and sign.
I like what they did.
Like Harbaugh is nitpicking the specific guys from that team,
which I'm okay
that
with.
He likes.
I like that they went out and got Edmonds, the linebacker. I like that they went out and re-signed Eleanor on the line, because now you've solidified the tackle spots on the line. I like what they've done. They've improved the offensive line. They've improved at linebacker. They
went and got Isaiah Likely to
and
pair.
Again, I don't think that moves the needle as much as I think other people were excited about it. But because I think Theo Johnson has upside. I wasn't ready to just give up on that pick yet. So I mean, I think that pairing him, and again, 2 tight end set. They've worked with Baltimore before. I'm okay with it.
Well, and I think that's what it is, right? And they always say, right, who's a wide receiver or a young quarterback's best friend? It's a tight end. All right, like when it comes to that, because it's the short, easy passes, right? And Dart's shown that he can throw a deep ball, but and Likely's got the athleticism to split out as a wide receiver, right? Theo Johnson's got the athleticism to split out as a wide. So, I think you're pairing those 2 together. Yes, they're going to fall on the depth chart as tight end, but I think when you're game planning and putting together how you want to put players in positions to be successful, I think both of those guys are guys that you can say, yes, we can have you lined up tight with the tackle, but we also can put you in the slot, and hell, I trust you to go on the outside and go win a battle. So I think that move just gives them more flexibility on how they can put schemes and things together to give Dart his best chance for a successful sophomore year. I think that's really what you're looking at with him. So I think the moves the Giants have made have been pretty good. The punter one, hey, punters are people too, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's all said and done, you don't care about a punter until he has the chance to flip field position and instead shanks it only 20 yards and you're sitting there like, great. We punted the ball, could have pinned them inside their 10, but instead they're on our side of the 50. Like, that's when you care about a punter, right? Or that corner coffin kick, and they nail that one. You love your punter then. Like,
and you know
they're
what?
people too.
You know what, though? That I think the Giants have actually won, too, by addition, by subtraction. Because I don't know what is going on down there in Tennessee, but if they think they're going to build a juggernaut by picking up Giants and Jets off of the bargain bin, I
like Wan'Dale Robinson.
No, I'm sorry. He's got his hands need work. Like, he doesn't. He
was literally your best wide receiver last year.
He's not that good, though. That's not saying
he's a solid slot.
He's not that good.
Look, I'm not going to pay him $25 million a year, but he's a solid slot.
He's overhyped since the day we got him. He never really panned out to be the weapon he was supposed to be. And Dable was always so in love with him. Great, Dable. Keep him. Have him. Love him down there in Tennessee. I love that for you. I love that Saleh is handpicking the guys from the Jets that he wants. I love it. Build yourselves the roster of Giants and Jets down there and really show them what you're made of. If you think that 3-win Titan team is going to be any better with a shit ton of Giants and Jets of the last 10 years on there, then I'm telling you, you need to have your head examined, because we've been begging for anything else. We've been begging for change. And if you want to take that change for us, great.
So basically you're saying the Titans are going to be the JV team of the Jets-Giants combo.
The Titans, I almost had faith in, and then they've become a laughingstock.
The bald-headed coaching crew kills me.
They may have the worst team in the league next year. And I'm just stating facts. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't see how these two powerhouses come together to form a juggernaut that takes the Titans to the promised land.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I mean, stop it.
Yeah, I get that, but I think
on a QB with a QB who's in his second year, who's not any like I'm sorry, Cam Ward. What I saw in a short fraction of time from Jackson Dart was way better than the entire season I saw of Cam Ward. I'm sorry, it really is.
I mean, Cam Ward had those moments, but you know what it made me think of? Anthony Richardson. That's what it made me think of. Like,
and where is he now? He's begging to get traded and begging for an opportunity.
Yeah, like there were definitely like some plays he made and some throws he made where you're like, wow, this kid's got some talent, but at the same time, he made some decisions and plays that made you sit there and say to yourself, like, dude, what you should know better than that. You know what I mean? So, I think another big one that got me, but I get why it happened. Mike Evans, man. He goes from one bay to another bay.
I hate this. I'll be honest.
I wanted to see him stay with Tampa Bay.
What is the motivation? You've already won a Super Bowl. And I get that that's what it is. He's ring chasing. He's going, if I pair up with Christian McCaffrey, if I pair up with this team that's a perennial favorite, it's going to be good. We're going to be good. I feel like, but he's a guy to me that a Pete Alonso, across the sports, there's certain guys that when you hit a certain level, you get to 10, 12, 11, 12 years with a certain team, you shouldn't leave. That's a point where you've become a part of the foundation of the team. You become a part of the city. I'm sure, set up charities and other things. I'm sure your family has grown up there. To uproot that now just to chase a ring that you already have. I get it if he didn't. I get it if he's, I'm trying to think, a Randy Moss, who at the end of his career was chasing one. He didn't get one for a long time, and then all of a sudden he's like, all right, well, I'm going to New England. I'm going to try to, you know what I mean? I understand that a little bit more. To me, I got a hard time with this one because he, to me, should have been a forever. Now, I'm sure eventually he'll go into the Ring of Honor. I'm sure he's a Hall of Famer, absolutely. And I'm sure he's going to go in as a Tampa Bay,
Oh, yeah.
Hall of
He'll
Famer.
Definitely sign the one-day contract and retire a Buccaneer.
And retire a Buck. But that's why, to me, this just tarnishes
you gotta keep in mind, though, this wasn't just his choice. Tampa Bay didn't want to bring him back for the money he was asking for. And I'm sorry, but he has a right to ask for the money he believes he deserves.
Yes, but you also at a certain time have to realize injuries and age play a factor in the number you get to.
Oh yeah, but
he's at the end of his career. He's not at the beginning.
He didn't get some crazy contract
No, but again,
Tampa could have afforded him, but with the rookie that they drafted who looked really good earlier in the season, you still got Godwin.
They got a bunch of pieces. I get that. They also I'm just saying they would have brought him back for a certain number. What matters to me though is, say, I don't know, what was the number? Do you know what he got from San Fran?
I think he got 3 for $39, but so 23 of it or something like that was guaranteed.
Yeah, so whatever, about 13 a year. What if Tampa was like, listen, we'll bring you back, but it's got to be for 9? And he was like, well, I'm not going to sacrifice the $12 million. I'm going to go to San Fran instead. But to me, it's Montana going to Kansas City.
San Francisco forced Montana out because they had Steve Young sitting there waiting.
Brett Favre going to Minnesota and the
Green
Jets.
Bay forced them out. They had Rodgers
We could say that, but again, how much of this is just the player maybe being a little stubborn with what they think that they are, and the team's going, well, listen, we've got to pivot at some point too, and you could either help us pivot or we've got to pivot.
Yeah, I am always
this late in his career, he's not moving the needle there in San Fran. That's all I'm saying is he's going there strictly to ring chase over the next couple years. That's it. He's not going there to be the number one on the team, because we know it's not. It's McCaffrey. It's the other pieces they have. They have other young talent too at wide receiver, like Jennings and Pearsall, another player. Like, he's may not even be the number one option on the team. Like, he may be a big red zone target. He may still get his, but
I mean, he'll still get his, but he's not going to be the number one wide receiver.
I just wish it's the same with the Mets and Alonso. The Mets didn't even make Alonso an offer because they were like, no, it's not worth it to bring him back. We want to pivot. He went to the Orioles for, like you said, like, oh, well, the San Fran didn't overpay for him. Like, I don't think the Orioles overpaid for Alonso.
Whoa, I'm not even close. 3 for $60.
Oh, so 20 a year.
Yeah.
I can understand that they may say no to that. But at the same time, like, can he not understand that, like, San Fran's doing it because they're ring chasing too at this point? They're going, well, listen, let's bring on the talent. Let's bring on this 1,000-yard receiver and let's go. Ayuk doesn't want to come back, and we traded away Deebo Samuel, so we kind of screwed ourselves. Let's go out and get Evans. Like, I get it. I get the reason that San Fran wants to bring him in. I just wish that at this point in their careers that some players had more loyalty. This isn't a guy on his this is a guy on like his third or fourth contract. Like, he's not fighting for his first one. He's not fighting and like saying like, oh, well, I think I'm worth this. Like, I've had 3 or 4 great years. Like, no, he's had 12 great years. I get that. But at some point, everybody's got to realize their own worth. And if you think you're a $20-30 million receiver a year still, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you are, especially with the injury risks. I
mean, the injury for him was an arm or shoulder or something like that. Like, it wasn't a leg injury, obviously, which is going to help the scenario. But I just, from my personal perspective, I don't think he made a bad move, right? Like, you did everything you could in Tampa Bay. You helped Tampa Bay win a ring.
I feel bad for the fans of Tampa. I'm not going to say he made a bad move. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I just think that he made the wrong move.
Yeah.
I think that he
Fair.
let down a generation of fans who now have grown up, who have literally gone from age 6 to age 18, watching him play for their favorite team, to now leave them and go play somewhere else. It's just that type of stuff that I think about as a fan, and I get it that it's business, not fandom.
And we've all gone through it too, right? Like, I had to watch Emmitt Smith wear Arizona Cardinals jersey.
I'm glad I never watched LT do it. I'm glad I never had to see LT in another uniform. I'm glad I never had to see Eli in another uniform.
Yeah,
it would have honestly, like, to be honest, if Eli would have done. And in a way, it did it to me with the one star that I'll say it did it to me with in my childhood. That it did it. Kind of as a kid, exactly like I'm talking about. Watched him from age 6 to age 18, and then right around age 18, end of his career, same thing happened. Contracts, whatever, didn't think worth whatever. Ewing leaving the Knicks, to me, was my favorite player growing up. Loved Patrick Ewing. Loved Patrick Ewing. Made me a Knicks fan. Watching Patrick Ewing made me a Knicks fan. To see him go to Seattle and put on another uniform.
I forgot he went to Seattle.
But those are the things to me that just tarnished it a little bit, because then he didn't come back to the Garden for a while after that. Yeah. He didn't get involved. Where, to me, he was a Knick for his whole life. Yeah. Like, that was his career. That was where he made his, like, and to leave at the end there, to me, just like, ooh, like, it just, I mean, just that tiny sour taste. I hate that.
It happens more than it doesn't happen, right? For every Kobe Bryant that spends, 20 years with one team, you've got 10 LeBron Jameses. Well, that's maybe an over-exaggeration because nobody's bounced around more than LeBron James. But, I get your point from a fan perspective. I think from a player perspective, right? You sit there, you talk with your family, you talk with your agent, and you try to figure out what's best for you. And if he felt San Francisco was best for him, more power to him, and good for you. If there's anything that I don't like about, or that, I won't even say I don't like about it, that I'm just jealous of, is that you go from Tampa Bay and that area by the water to San Francisco and that area by the water. He's not gonna have to suffer, right? Like, he's not going from Tampa Bay to Cleveland, where it sucks.
No, but San Fran isn't as beautiful as it used to be. No. From everything I've heard, San Fran is depends on which area of San Fran you're in.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can say that about anywhere, right?
I don't know. Tampa's pretty damn nice. Like I gotta be honest.
But I'm sure there's areas in Tampa that probably aren't that nice. There's no tent cities
there. There's no camps on the street. I'll say that where there are some in San Fran. So I don't know if it's quite the beauty. Now, granted, I would love to see the Golden Gate Bridge. I would love to see some of that too because I think it does have some amazing areas, but.
I've driven over the Golden Gate Bridge. I always wanted to go to that park that overlooks.
So I'm going to throw a question out, random question, but I think it's a fun question. The greatest player to go from Tampa Bay to San Francisco. And I'm going to give you what I think are three. You can fact check me on the third.
Okay.
First one is the easy one, Mike Evans.
Okay.
Went from, obviously, Tampa to San Fran. Chasing another ring, got one in Tampa. Number two, Steve Young. Steve Young was in Tampa before he was in San Fran. Then went to San Fran and won in San Fran. And then the third one I was thinking of, but I may be wrong about, is I'm not sure if John Lynch played as a player. I think he did with Tampa. Could be wrong.
John Lynch definitely played in Tampa.
Yeah. And now he's in San Fran as the GM. I don't think he played in San Fran as a player, but he is there as a GM and has orchestrated these teams that have been really good the last, 8-10 years probably?
Wow, so...
I'm going to give you three guys. So you tell me,
first
when all is said and done, who is the best to go from Tampa to San Fran?
And I'm going to put John Lynch third simply because safeties just don't get the love that quarterbacks and wide receivers do. So ranking wise,
he was a great one. He was very good.
But also he was a very physical safety, and in today's NFL, he'd probably lose more money in fines than he'd make in his NFL contract. I always think of Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott was one of the greatest safeties to ever play the game. Ronnie Lott probably couldn't even make a roster today because the coaches would be like, "You need to stop knocking the helmets off of the opposing team." Not because he didn't have the talent or the skill, but simply because the man knew how to hit people and hit them hard. And the NFL don't like that anymore. They like it in highlight reels and advertising, but they don't like it when it comes down to issuing fines and penalties. Anyway, I think the Steve Young, Mike Evans is a very debatable one because Steve Young was one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch play. And if it wasn't for the Cowboys of the 90s, he probably would have got more than one Super Bowl.
But he got one.
But he did get one. I'm going to go with Mike Evans, and this is why. I think everybody that loves the NFL and also has knowledge and respect for the history of the NFL would agree Jerry Rice is probably the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game. Even Jerry Rice, with the records that he holds, didn't start his career with 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more. Mike Evans is the only one to ever do that. Now, if he had 1,000 yards this past season, he would have tied Jerry Rice for the most 1,000-yard seasons in a career. But even Jerry didn't start his career with 11 straight. And when you think about it, he's played with some pretty average or below average quarterbacks and still put up those stats. Now, Jerry played in a time where running the ball first was how offenses ran, and then pass second. Mike Evans came into a league where it was literally when he came into the league was when we really saw that transition to pass first, run second. So, yes, he played in a different time. But to really think about 11 straight years from your rookie year through, that you can't take away from how impressive that is no matter when in the NFL you played. So I would put Mike Evans first, but I'm not talking a big gap here, right? I am not talking hey, this is a big difference between first and second. We're talking a very, very minimal difference to me. But I think that alone is that one thing that separates him. I just do, because he played on some bad teams. He played with some bad quarterbacks. He helped Baker Mayfield resurrect his career. The Tom Brady 2 years that he had, or 3 years that he had with Brady. I mean, Brady's Brady, right? Brady basically was like, I don't need Bill Belichick. I'll do it here, and proved it. While Belichick was, I don't need Brady, and he was out of a job. You know what I'm saying? So those 3 years, all right, most guys as good as you would have gotten 1,000 yards with no problem. But to do it with some of the quarterbacks that he played with, and some of those teams in Tampa Bay, so I'm going to go with Mike Evans, but it's a slim margin. So that would be my order.
I let you go without any interruption because I agree with you. I don't have much to add either. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed the 3 in a row. I think what John Lynch has been able to do is great, and yeah, I'll fix that stamp.
I just got it. The arm's starting to fall asleep a little bit, so I just had to move a little bit.
But no, I think you nailed it. John Lynch 3. Again, more because the safety plus the GM role. Like, it's, if he did more as a player in San Fran, then that would be one thing. But I agree with 3 there. But just had to throw him in because almost like an honorable mention. Like, he has done great things in both spots,
and he's a Hall of Fame player. Like we can't.
He's a Hall of Fame GM. Honestly, like he's on that kind of track.
Yeah,
so.
like you can't take away from John. It's just
absolutely. He falls 3.
His position's what hurts him. That more than anything else.
And I think you're spot on. It's not far off. Like, it's not a big margin, but I would give it to Evans. 1 for, like you said, the longevity of doing it straight out of the gate from rookie year 1, of doing it those first 11 years. You know, it's gonna be like, that's something nobody else has done, even the greatest of all time. So, and nobody's gonna argue that Jerry Rice still isn't the greatest of all time. He is. Absolutely. I don't know why that's doing that, but that was weird. Like playing Pong. I'm
just trying to pull up the World Baseball class so we start. But before we do, is there any moves that really shocked you, surprised you, couldn't believe it happened? Like anything that took.
The Geno Smith. What the hell are the Jets doing to bring it full circle? I mean, that's my.
Knuckleheaded News of the Week.
But like, what are the Jets thinking? You've kicked these tires already. You've gone down the Geno Smith trail before. It led you nowhere. Why do you think it's going to get any better after what could have been his worst season ever? You didn't even try to get him after the decent years in Seattle. He's literally coming off of his worst season ever.
They've
lost arguably one of their best linemen too, because Elijah Vera Tucker's going to sign with the Giants. Like, I don't understand this move. Unless you're telling me, guys, we're going to do our best to put something acceptable on the field, but we're really going for Arch Manning this year. And then I can say, okay, I at least know the objective. Or we're going for whatever. But, like, right now, you look like fools. That's the way I look at it, and I hate to say that because, like, I think they could have had promise. I really thought Aaron Glenn could have been the savior. I thought he was the guy that was going to come in, a former player, former guy under Parcells, former guy who wanted to bring him back to glory, play defense, play hard. And then he comes in, trades away a bunch of his best defensive players, turns the defense to mush, and now he's going out and picking up guys like Geno Smith off the trash heap. You don't even try to go after a Kyler Murray. You don't even try to go after a Tua, which, by the way, did Tua sign somewhere? Atlanta, right?
A 1-year deal. And my cousin Jen, shout out to Jen and Jeff, who I don't know if I told you, but they couldn't have been more appreciative of what you got for them. You'll get to meet them in person at the wedding. So nice. I really look forward to getting a chance to introduce you guys. I highly suggest you stay away from the college football for you two. You know, I don't need the Bama, Georgia back and forth happening after a couple of drinks.
They're just Bama light over there, you know, with Kirby Smart and all. You know,
so. But my cousin's husband Jeff, he put a post up and he's like, "Why would they make this signing? Like, I thought, you know, we're invested in Penix. Like, I don't understand it." And so Jen took a screenshot of the post because for some reason
Yeah.
I didn't see it, and she sent it. She was like, "What do you think?" And my thoughts are this, right? Penix also messed up his knee, right?
Yeah, but he's got bad knees from college.
Yeah. So my thought, and this is what I think happened, is there one of two things. They either are very, very worried about his recovery and want to have somebody that they believe can start a couple games for them until they believe he's ready to go. Or two, they're not 100% sold on him, and they're like, screw it, let's bring in some competition. The one thing I think strategically that makes sense in that signing is staying lefty, right? Because any wide receiver, tight end, running back, they'll all tell you it looks different. And most of these guys spent their whole life getting the ball thrown to them by a right-handed quarterback. So if you have both quarterbacks, the top two quarterbacks on your depth chart are left-handed, your practices are going to be more it's going to help the guys around them to have a backup left-handed quarterback. So that's just something I thought about, but I think it's really, hey, we're worried about his recovery and we need to make sure we have somebody that can start a couple games, or we're not completely sold on him and we want to bring somebody in with starter experience to compete with him, but we want to stay with a left-handed quarterback. Those are the only two things I can think of to justify signing to it. That's it. That's the only two things I can think of.
How many quarterbacks when you have two quarterbacks?
Zero.
So that's what I think they're doing to themselves. This is another Cousins situation. This is another situation where they're just putting Penix in a situation to fail. Like, anything he does wrong, injury, whatever, they're gonna pull him, put into. It's not the way an organization should be run. It's not the way you should treat your young quarterback, especially if you do see him as the future. And I don't see it as a great move for Tua, who I thought could have went to someone like the Jets, could have went somewhere and tried to resurrect his career. This, to me, is like a 1-year stopgap, but I don't think it gets him a starting job anywhere.
I couldn't believe the Dolphins traded Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Jets for a 7th-round pick.
That was it them or the Steelers that did that?
No, the Steelers traded him to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in Miami for 2 or 3 years now, and Miami just traded him to the Jets for a 7th-rounder. They're basically like, here, take the guy. And Miami, I think, is trying to just tear it all down.
But if you're the Jets, why would you bring in Minkah Fitzpatrick if you could have just kept Sauce Gardner?
Well, Minkah's a safety. You're not going to play.
I just don't see the moves though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're bringing in
you know how you make it make sense? It's the Jets.
It's
the Jets.
But that to me goes back to the Geno move of they suck.
This
is why they suck.
The only smart thing that came out of that, because at first the Raiders were going to release him. Like, Geno literally tweeted, thank God or whatever, because he knew he was going to get released.
And nobody was going to pick him up.
Nobody was going to go after him. And then they're like, oh, we'll give you a 7th-round pick.
Why wouldn't the Jets try to at least kick the tires on Kyler Murray? Like, why wouldn't they go that route and bring him in? At least he's younger.
Yeah.
Like, Geno's more 35, 36 years old. Like, he's not a spring chicken. He's been around the league a long time.
I mean, I still remember, because he got drafted by the Jets when the Jets still had Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
After Rex Ryan left and they still had Sanchez.
2012,
after the Butt fumble year,
yeah.
that next year was when they drafted Geno Smith.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, and I remember he didn't win his first game until week 7 or 8. It was a Monday nighter against Atlanta, ironically enough. But the one good thing the Jets managed to get out of this, and I think that's why the trade made sense for them, out of the $19 million that Geno Smith is owed going for this season, the Raiders are paying 16 of the 19. So the Jets are only paying their starting quarterback $3 million. So,
but when your starting quarterback is hot garbage,
it's just like you said. I think what you said before is pretty much what they're thinking. We need somebody to put in that spot so that we can get through this season and go draft the guy we think will be our guy. I think you're spot on with that one.
How much of a leash can you give Aaron Glenn? I mean, this would be 2 seasons in a row where you're pretty much expecting a 3 or 4 win team.
I mean, that's the stuff we don't know, right? What are the GM and the owner talking about, right? If the GM and owner are saying, "Hey, let's make this move,"
the Jets
so we can just
over the last 10 years, they're the worst franchise in the NFL.
Yeah.
The Giants are second. I'm not saying my Giants are much better, but over the last 10, 12 years, the Jets are the worst team in the NFL.
They're like the only team that hasn't made the playoffs in 20 years.
And recycling the guy that started this shitfest is never the answer. He who doesn't learn from history is doomed to repeat it.
You know who the answer really is? And he's one of your favorite players, but he doesn't play football.
He is the answer.
He has been playing really well.
No, he's Captain America.
He's Captain America. And he's been playing really well as captain for America in the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, no, he's been a beast. He's been awesome.
I think I did pretty well in that transition until I mentioned doing well in transition. But so, look, you know me, right? I've seen highlights of what's gone on. I've seen little moments here and there, but I haven't really sat and watched. So, like, I know we're approaching the elimination rounds, right? Where we're looking at divisional and like, you know, working our way to the championship of the World Baseball Classic. So, what should we be looking for? What should we be paying attention? I heard people in my office talking that Italy could give them a problem today. Italy's apparently
an espresso machine in their club.
That surprises you?
No, but I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, Italy is 2-0, the U.S. 3-0, Puerto Rico 3-0.
So yeah, this is still group
Japan,
play. So they have
4-0.
So Japan will be through. It's the top two in each division are going through to the next round.
Okay.
So the top two in each are going through automatic. So it does look like the U.S. is going to make it through. It looks like, especially if they beat Italy here, because Italy is 2-0.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, if they win tonight,
it's over. They're going to go 4-0 in the bracket here, and because they played everybody by then. So they play everybody once, and then that's what it is. From there, the top two teams from each are going to go. So it looks like Puerto Rico and Cuba.
Good chance.
Looks like the U.S. and Italy is a pretty good chance.
Italy or Mexico.
Because
Great Britain and Brazil are definitely done.
We just beat Mexico too. So
okay.
Last night, I believe it was on Fox.
All right, Japan's good.
Well, we know that.
Well, this one's finalized then.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess they're saying
Chinese Taipei and Japan.
Why not Korea though?
Because of the run differential. Because run differential they would have won.
It'd be Korea, yeah. So maybe it's just
head-to-head. Head-to-head, they might have beat them.
And then Venezuela and Dominican Republic, because you're not going to swing enough with just one game to go. So okay, so we're almost finalized, right? I mean, is today the last?
One of the last, if not the last. But I think, Italy might have a game tomorrow.
Yeah, so it looks like Wednesday is your last day of group play. And then starting Thursday, I guess we get into, because look, they already have Japan and Korea locked in.
Yep.
So you get to your elimination games on Friday. Okay. So is there anything that, like, we should be paying attention to? Anything that surprised you? Like, I mean, I feel like Italy being 2-0 is
no, because they got a lot of good players. Actually, if you looked at their roster, they got a lot of major leaguers on there. Okay. So I'm not too surprised by Italy. They got an okay staff, but I don't think they're a match for us. Like, I think that I've told you since before the World Baseball Classic started that this USA team is absolutely loaded. Just, stacked from Harper to Witt to Judge to, then you look at the pitching staff. They just have a ridiculous amount of arms. It's pretty crazy. The one thing I'll say is it seems like it's been a lot of fun so far. For the games I've watched, been able to catch, I loved it. Like, I love seeing Judge performing on the biggest stage again, to me, this is better than spring training because the guys here actually give a shit. So you're actually playing competition early.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting to you're not just playing 3 or 4 innings and then taking the rest of the day off. You're not just going through the motions of practice. You're actually training. You're actually playing against the world's best talent. And that's unreal. And like that's just something that is, to me, exciting to see because I'm already seeing Judge perform on a high level. Well, great. It means he's already ready for the season, and that excites me because if he has a great opening to the season, it means the Yankees will probably have a good start to the season. If the Yankees have a good start to the season, I'm not happy spring. So, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be
Well,
nice and it just makes you feel good. Well, I just liked what I've seen, and I just love the camaraderie of the team. They love playing together. They love, and it seems that way amongst a lot of the guys playing for their countries. Like, a lot of the guys that are here, they're not playing in any of this for money. It's almost like doing the Olympics. Like, you're not doing it for the money of it. They're doing it literally for the love of country and sport. And that to me is awesome. So I love it when I see something like the Four Nations. I love this World Baseball Classic. I love the Olympics. I love this kind of stuff. And to see Juan Soto get as excited as he does, like with a walk-off home run, and like, these guys, Ohtani takes it dead serious. Like see like these guys taking it as serious as they do.
The passion is there. The passion, the commitment.
There was a 17-year-old kid, I forget which team he was on. One of the teams the USA played, obviously, struck out Judge as a 17-year-old kid.
That's pretty cool.
That's
a lifetime memory, no matter what happens.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Like, it's just really cool. It's fun. It's exciting, and it brings a level to baseball that you don't usually get this early in the year.
What do you think of this that happened between Raleigh and Arozarena? Did you hear about this happen? So basically, he walks up to Arozarena, walks up to take his at bat, and his teammate, who's catcher for the opposite team, refuses to shake his hand. Like they're teammates. But in the World Baseball Classic, they're playing against each other. But since they're teammates, he walked up to the plate. He reached down to shake his teammate's hand, and his teammate refused to shake his hand. Like, I look, one of the things I love about the Olympics, right, is that no matter who you're going up against, it's the sportsmanship of it. Like, you're teammates and you just threw sportsmanship out the window.
No, because I think that where I'm going to differ, and I'm going to say this because you think about it in terms of hockey. On the ice, two guys are going to fist fight. Like, me and you may not get along. We're dropping the gloves. We're going at it. But after the game, we'll handshake. After the game, we'll sit down and have a beer. After the game, that's the key. I think if it was in game and he didn't want to shake his hand, I'm okay with that. It's in game, dude. Like, take your at bat, like, do what you got to do. I'm focused on what I have to do here. Like, after the game, if he would have snubbed him, and like after the game, I'd expect teammates to come out of the dugout, shake hands, do the right thing.
I mean, I would expect that too. But
if you told me that's where it happened, and like he was like, "Oh no, I'm not shaking your hand after we just lost to you or whatever," or however the scenario was, then I would be like, "All right, well, I think that there's something there that maybe we don't know about clubhouse wise or whatever." I have zero issue with this because it happened in game. Yeah. In game, there's still something with certain people that they get switched on. I'm one of those people. Like, if I play sports and I'm playing against you, we may be on the basketball court, but like if we're on different teams, we're enemies right there. We're playing against like, I may love you as a brother and a friend, but during that game, I'm going up like I'm trying to win. I'm done, like, and I'm sorry that you want to shake my hand in the middle, like you're dribbling up court and go like no, like save that shit for after the game. That's where I'm at. So I don't have a problem with this. Yes. And I don't have a problem, especially because I like Cal Raleigh, and I'm gonna say I don't think it's a problem amongst teammates because I'll bet you after the game he's like, dude, I just couldn't do it during the game.
So apparently after the game, Arozarena was pissed. Like he was very pissed at his teammate, but like. I know Passan's a pretty well-known, reporter in the world of baseball, and he's saying he isn't worried about it. Look, once they get back home and they're teammates again, maybe this does go behind them. I think I'd be a little bothered in that moment just because, like you said, right in the middle of a basketball game, no, I'm not trying to shake your damn hand. In the middle of a hockey game, I'm not trying to shake your damn hand. But like before the game starts, everybody daps each other up. For a basketball game, right? Everybody getting ready for a jump ball.
Before the game. This seemed like it was in game. He was coming up to bat and like went to
But like I mean hand. Like to me, like at least like a little fit, like I don't know. Like I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to your teammate. But at the same time, I don't think the point you're making is wrong. So that's why I wanted to ask you about it.
But right now, that's not his teammate, though.
I know.
Like, it's
his opponent.
It's an opponent. And that's where, to me, like, you got to say the separation of church and state here. You got to separate the two.
I also don't know how long they've been teammates for.
Not that long. Because Rosarena, I think, came from, I believe Rosarena was with Tampa first. I'm going to double check that.
Look, if you've only been teammates for like a year, maybe 2 years, like that's a little bit different. But like if I played with you for the last 6-7 years, like yeah, give me a quick dap. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I think it's interesting. I really genuinely do. I think it's. But to your point, and kind of bringing this back full circle.
Got to Seattle in 2024. So they've been they were pretty much teammates. Well, Cal Raleigh was a rookie this past season, so really one year.
Only once, yeah. But like to bring this back full circle, right? And to the main point that you made, the best part about the whole World Baseball Classic is every guy playing is treating this like it's the playoffs. Every guy playing is treating this like every game matters, every pitch, every at bat, every play. They want to win, and it means a lot to them. And this right here really kind of proves that, right? Like, hey, like, yeah, we're teammates when we're playing in the MLB, but right now, I don't even want to know who the hell you are. I want to give my guy the signals to strike your ass the hell out, right? Like, I want you to fall on your ass because you swung so hard at a pitch that you couldn't hit, so I can laugh at you. Like that, to your point, right? That is the competition side of it is the nice part, but like, it's also
you don't get to be their level of great without having some competition.
Oh yeah, you got to be a psychopath. I'm sorry, you got to be psycho about wanting to win to make it in professional sports. Like, and like that's the crazy part. Like, because you say, like I say that, and I genuinely believe it, but then you also realize the different levels of psychopath. Like, you look at a Kobe Bryant who pops his Achilles and still limps onto the free throw line so he can shoot because he wasn't sure if he popped his Achilles and wanted to make sure he could come back.
Or you have a Willis Reed who comes out of the locker room
with basically
limping.
A torn hamstring. Like there's also levels to the psychopath. You know what I mean? That's why everybody tells you. Like, I always love hearing the stories of people talking about playing Michael Jordan. Like, you never want to talk shit to MJ. Never talk shit to MJ. You play him hard, you play him tough, but you don't talk shit because all of a sudden that something switches in him, and now he needs to kill you. Like, he's not gonna meet you in the parking lot with a knife. No, he needs to kill you in front of 20,000 fans and every person that's on TV, that's watching on TV.
He needs to embarrass you.
He needs you to realize you effed up, right? Or when he walks into a locker room and goes up to somebody and says, "You better lace him up. It's gonna be a long night." Like, there's levels to this shit, but you still have to have a couple screws loose to get to that level of professional sports. Because I'm sorry, I could shoot a hell of a jump shot. I was bigger than most kids. I didn't have that killer instinct to get down into the paint and start throwing elbows and fighting for a ball. No, I want to stand by the 3-point line and shoot the ball. Drove my dad insane playing PAL basketball. Like, Dave, you got every kid by 20 pounds and like 4 inches. Why are you standing by the 3-point line? I like shooting the ball. Like, he's like, go get down in the paint and take the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have that psycho level. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to have. There's levels to that psycho level. But so our games wrap up for the group play tomorrow. Friday.
By the way, shout out to our former serviceman. I didn't know that Skeens was a former cadet. So, and that he played baseball for Air Force. I didn't know that. So
I didn't know that. Paul
shout out to
Skeens and Griffin
Skeens,
Jackson.
and shout out to, because listen, they apparently brought the team to the USA-Mexico game, so I think that's pretty cool. So just shout out to some people doing some good things in the world. Shout out to Paul Skeens. I hope one day he's a Yankee. I like Paul Skeens. I do.
And while we're
I
on
like him as a he seems like a good dude. Seems like he tries to do the right thing. Not really in the limelight too much, other than, with Livy Doon every now and then or whatever. Like, nobody's got a problem with that. So, finding out he's in the Air Force makes me like him even more. So, shout out to Paul Skeens.
And since he brought it up, I don't care what your feelings are. We're supporting all our men and women wearing those uniforms. Thank you for what you do and sacrifices you make. So,
but that being said,
I think one more thing for us before we wrap up.
And again, I hate to do it, but we gotta double it up this week.
Knuckleheaded News of the Week.
As we transition to a little think by next week we'll be talking more like NCAA tournament. We'll be talking more of those things as that comes along. Obviously more NHL as well. But this week, wrapping it up with one of the dumbest things I've heard all week. And that's Steve Kerr deciding that, I don't know if you want to pull it up so you can read anything about it beforehand or check it out, but he pretty much came out and said that the NBA season is too long for these players. It's too much, it's too grueling, and it should be cut down to like 72 games. Take 10 games out, have the NBA sacrifice a little of their money, and it'll be a better product because the players will be able to play more. Blah, blah, blah. No, at 72 games, they'll still be finding load management, and it'll be a 62-game schedule for them instead of I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I think it's bull, and I'm sorry that, Steve, you played in a different era. And I don't want to hear that the game's faster now, so because of that, it's really, it's just too much, it's so much more exhausting. No, it was way more physical back then. And physical, just because you're not running up and down the court as fast, that physicality of getting beat up all game long takes a toll on you too. And those guys still played 82 games a year. Jordan, what, eight or nine times? At
41 years old, Jordan played 82 games for the Wizards. I'm just saying,
I think like over the course of his career, at least 8, 9, 10 times, he played 82 games, if not more. I know during those championship runs, he played every night.
Jordan only...
You only took off if you had to.
Only 2 seasons of his career did he not play 82 games, and that was when he broke his shin, and
when he played baseball,
and when he came back from playing baseball because he came back in the middle of the season.
Yep,
those are the only 2 times in his entire career he didn't play all 82 games. Like Jordan did not, and like when people ask him, he said, "It was my job to go out there and perform for the people that paid money to watch me play the game."
And that's the other thing it comes down to is. For the fans, you want people to spend money on season tickets, right? You want people to spend money on these games. Well, guess what? If you're a New Orleans Pelicans fan, why the hell would you ever buy season tickets? Because guess what? Every team, whether it's the Lakers, whether it's San Antonio, it doesn't matter who it is. Wemby's sitting, LeBron's sitting. Nobody's playing when they come to see you because they don't care about you. And guess what? That fan in New Orleans probably cared because that was the only game he gave a shit about seeing all year was going to see LeBron or going to see a Wemby or going to see. And these guys are not taking the night off because, it might be on the second of a back-to-back. Or it might be, it's too grueling. We just played a West Coast trip and, now we need an extra day for Bron. I'm sorry, but you're killing the sport when you do this. And Steve Kerr should know this more than anyone. He played with the greatest. I'm sorry. I think Steve Kerr's gone soft, and I don't like it.
He's played for several. He's played with several
to
of the
me,
greatest.
There's a reason that, and it's not just because of Steph's age and whatever, that Golden State's fallen off. And I think it's shit like this and Steve Kerr's mindset that's changed over time. I don't think he's the same guy he was when he started coaching. I don't think he's. I'm saying that as a pure, observer of the game. I don't think he's the same coach. I don't think he has the same effectiveness, and I think he's trying too much to relate to today's players to keep himself relevant, because he knows that's the only way he's keeping himself around the league is if he ingratiates himself to this younger generation. Because once Steph's gone, what's the tie to Steve Kerr? Outside of having Steve Kerr's done nothing in his coaching career.
No, I mean he took over Mark Jackson's Warriors team that just couldn't get over that last hump. Came in, got him over that last hump. They won a couple rings, but look, overall, they
won some rings. They went out and picked up guys like Durant. And they went out and got they picked up rings for reasons. They didn't pick up none of what they did was because of Steve Kerr. So guess what, Steve Kerr? Shut up.
Oh, I mean, if we're being honest, when was the last time a coach really is the reason a team won a championship? In the NBA. In the NBA. The Denver Nuggets won a championship with Mike Malone and then fired him when they were the number 1 seed in the West the following year. They fired him just because the owner and him didn't get along. Mm-hmm. and they still have fought for a championship every year since they fought. Like,
but haven't got one.
I don't know how much a coach carries weight anymore in the NBA the way they used to, because the game is now all around the 3-point line. It's
3
not.
and D. I get it, but
like,
I mean,
so there's not as much creativity when it comes down to drawing up. Like their impact is drawing up inbound plays. All right, like that's their impact. Like drawing up a good inbound play. Like that to me is really their impact.
Or defense. Like if you got a guy who could come in and scheme against threes, if you got a guy who could come in with and change you defensively, like I think that makes a difference. Like it does.
But I hear this, and to me, right, they're faster now, they're bigger, they're more athletic. All right. So that's part of your argument, right? The pace of play, right? But simultaneously, right, they have better medical facilities, better training facilities, better weight rooms, better medicines, better this, better that, better travel situation. Like
better everything.
So it went up here, but it also went up here. So it all balances itself out. I don't like back in the day, the NBA finals were 2-3-2 because they had it was mainly due to the fact that it was the Lakers and Celtics so much, and they didn't want them traveling back and forth across the country for the 2-2 1-1-1-1. So they did 2-3-2, and now they've gone back to the 2-2 1-1-1-1 because travel's so much better. Now these guys are flying in private jets. The 6'9" guy on your team sits in a seat where he can lounge backwards, have his legs completely stretched out, and be comfortable. In the 80s, they didn't have that. So for what you're saying has increased on the court, all the things to support the guys to allow them to do this have also kept up with that. Their diets. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like,
hold on, I'm sorry. And isn't the season part of the grind, or is it just everything playoffs? Like, we're just going to start with the playoffs and everything's just playoffs. No. The season is part of the grind. The 82-game season in the NHL, it's the grind. It's who can get through it, who gets hot at the end, who gets healthy, who can stay healthy. That's the thing. Baseball, 162 games. It's not that baseball is the most exhausting sport to play on a game-in, game-out basis, but it's exhausting because you play 162 games in 180 days. You get 18 days off over the course of 6 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's part of it.
It's part of why a champion at the end gets crowned, and you can feel good about why they got crowned because they made it through the gauntlet. If you're shortening the season, then what is the point? Like, again, and you've already created the in-season tournament now. So now you play 10 games of the year, and then you're already playing in the in-season tournament.
You want to do away with something, do away with that.
And then you're playing that, and then you get into the regular season again, and then it's, now we need to shorten the... Why? Like, what? Like, to me, I haven't heard a good enough argument other than, it's better for the playoffs. I'm sorry, we cater too much to guys who make way too much.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys, I don't feel bad that you have to play 82 times in a year, 365 days in a year. You only got to get up and get ready for 82 of them. If you can't get ready for 82 out of 365, you're talking, that's less than a quarter, that's less than 25% of your time. You have to get up and go. And
your top guys, the ones you do the load management for, are the ones making 40, 50, 60 million a year. A year.
And some are more than 60 a year now.
I'm
sorry, you should be playing at 60 million a year. You're practically, if you only play 60 games, you're getting paid $1 million a game.
I would love to sit down with somebody that thinks this is the right idea, right? Like me and you are never going to get like Steve Kerr to come join us, right? But like, I would love to find another group, 2 guys that do podcasting and that agree with this, because this is one of those topics, right? We used to talk all the time when we were doing this 5 days a week, right? Yeah. Like, it gets really dull if we agree on everything. Yeah. Like, and you are always so great being willing to just say, you know what, I agree with you. Like, in your head, you'd be like, I agree with him, but I'm going to disagree so we can have a little entertainment, right? I would love to get into this with somebody that thinks this is the right move, because I'm telling you, you know who they would be. They'd be in their late teens to their mid 20s, somewhere in that window that would agree with this. If you're 30 and over, no way. You watch Kobe Bryant do this. That Kobe was your guy, right? Like, you're 30 and over. Kobe was one of your guys growing up, right? Like Dwayne Wade was one of your guys. Like that, like those guys. They didn't ask for a shortened season.
I couldn't picture an interview with Kobe Bryant. Like, I can't fathom it. Like, I can't even imagine, even in a world where the AI is created now, I can't even imagine AI would create this. Kobe Bryant sitting in an interview after a game where he goes, yeah, I just, I was a little tired coming off of the back-to-back, and, I just really, I needed this one off. I needed this game, but I'm feeling good. I'm not injured. I'm going to be back at it. Like, I can't ever picture an interview where Kobe was like, I'm taking this game off. Like, ever. Like, I can't imagine those words, or even Michael Jordan, like, coming out of their mouth.
No.
Or any uber, like, competitor like that. Like, I'm thinking Tiger Woods. I'm thinking, like, other things. Like, if you ever, like, I can't even imagine Tiger Woods going, like, if he was capable of playing at the Masters, going, I'm just going to take it off. Like, no, he's going to go out there and try to compete because he wants to win.
Prime Tiger played every week.
Every week.
That's why his back's so messed up. Because that man could hit the ball harder than anybody during his prime. And the tweaks he was putting on, or the tweak he was putting on his back.
That's why greatness doesn't last forever. And you can't make it last forever.
I'm sorry. I wish you had a mic drop button. Because that right there, again, I would love to get into this debate with people that actually would agree and say, no, they should do 65 or 72 or whatever it is. Because I'm sorry. Is 10 games really that big of a damn deal when you play from October through April?
I don't think so.
What is 10 games really going to do?
That's it. Nothing.
So, yeah, no. Steve Kerr, look, I thank you for your big shot.
You know what it's going to do? You know what it would do? It would rob fans of 10 more games. It would... Ticket prices aren't going to go down because owners aren't taking less money.
They'll go up because they'll want to make up the money.
Yeah, so you're going to end up paying more for your 72 games to end up seeing the same bad talent that's still going to take those days off.
Mm-hmm. Because they'll find a way.
Because right now, you only need 65 games to qualify for league MVP.
For any award.
Any award. There's so many players that aren't going to hit that this year. And if you put it at 75, how many do you, or 72, how many do you think are ever going to hit that 65 number? So now what are you going to lower that bar again?
Number, yeah.
You can't keep lowering the bar.
Yeah.
The bar, as far as I knew, you always wanted to raise the bar. Why do we continually lower it for these people? And that's where it frustrates me as a fan. Frustrates me as a guy. And like you said, you're not paying Jerry Jones any more of your money because you see the product keeps putting on the field. It's getting to be that point in certain NBA circles, too. You keep putting out shit. I'm not paying for season tickets. If I'm a Nets fan, if I'm a Pelicans fan, if I'm a fan of any of these cities, I'm not going to a game because every star is sitting when they come to see us.
So the Chicago Bulls is actually a great... Right, Chicago, for the last... Up until about 2-3 years ago, for like 10, 12 years straight, they sold out every game. Every game. And their fans basically are like, you continue to put out an average team, and when you play teams that are worse than you, you tend to bench your best players because you just want to be good enough to make the play-in tournament and get that extra game or two of revenue, and then you call it quits. You're not making any moves to say, hey, we're going to tear this down and build it back up, or we're going to go spend major money on some big-name free agent in the hopes that they can help us turn our franchise. Like, so the last 2 or 3 years, Chicago is middle of the pack when it comes down to attendance. When prior, they were top 2 or 3 in the entire league for attendance.
I think the NBA overall, as far as attendance and as far as fandom, is going down a little bit. And I hate to say that because the Knicks are finally on the rise.
And I've always said the NBA is better with the Knicks being relevant.
But even with the Knicks being relevant, this NBA is getting worse, not better, and I think that they're hurting the fandom. Like, I think that the good momentum they built is slowly starting to erode, and I think it's starting to go away, and I think it's starting with the people realizing the load management, the season tickets aren't worth the money, the this, the that, and like slowly between attendance, because once you start attendance and less kids start going to the game, like you said, arena used to be sold out. Well, guess what? Tons of kids were there when it was sold out. There's less people, there's less parents bringing their kids, because guess what? Families are the first ones to go because it costs them way more than it costs 21, 22, 23-year-old kid to buy a ticket, or that businessman who got it from his company to go with it, with somebody. Yeah, a lot different. When a family of four has got to spend the money on season tickets and stuff, they're not going to do it now. Why would they?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you got to put the product out there, and not enough NBA teams are doing that. Certain teams are. The Lakers are always going to sell out.
You had an amazing game last night.
The Knicks are going to sell out. The Celtics.
The Jazz and OKC went down to the wire. It was SGA going up with Jokic. It was an amazing game. Jokic makes it a 1-point game. SGA pulls back, hits a 3. Like it was an amazing game. I wish I got to watch more of it, but it was an amazing game. And look, there's still talent out there, but you've got to do something, and it starts with getting fans back in the seats, and you can't. And you want to see that talent on a night in,
night out basis. So,
but all right.
I don't know if we got anything in the chat you want to throw out before we get out of here, but thank you everybody out there.
Wow.
What?
Breaking news while we were on here. Just missed this by about 10 minutes. The Ravens backed out of the Max Crosby trade. He supposedly failed his physical.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Well, at least we're getting a chance to talk about it here for a second. So, backed out of trade for Crosby.
See, that's what I was saying to you, right? Like, it's just the tampering,
but that's a physical thing. So, what is the physical issue? Like, is he hurt? Is he gonna
No further details provided at this time.
Because I'm pretty sure they would have had to have had an actual reason. Like, they weren't just like, oh, we're getting cold feet. Like, let's just say it's a medical reason.
Yeah.
If they're saying that he failed the physical, I'm sure he failed the physical, but was that because the Raiders didn't disclose
This
something?
is saying the deal was contingent on Crosby passing a physical, which couldn't occur until the start of the new league, which is tomorrow. So he may not have even taken the physical yet.
Release on a video, social media.
The Ravens are saying, so it's saying that the Ravens backed out. Interesting. I mean, if that's true, the Raiders go from really stockpiling draft picks and going with the youth movement and the first overall draft pick quarterback and restarting this thing to, oh shit, what do we do now? So that's interesting. I mean, by next week we'll know more. I mean, it's the NFL. We'll 100% know more by next week. But definitely surprising. I mean, the Ravens lost numerous players.
Shout out to whoever threw that in the chat for us, too. We appreciate it.
So it wasn't in the chat. It was in my boys' group text. But we do have to shout out Marissa Doobie. Hopped in with us for a few just to say she's a little unsure what Roseman's doing. But if there's one thing I'm not going to doubt, it's Howie Roseman's ability to
He's
be
the best GM in football right now, unfortunately. I hate to say it. And it literally pains me to say that.
And I got to give props to Doobie. I think it was about a week or so ago. She announced she hit the 100-pound loss mark. She's lost 100 pounds on her own.
Shout out. Congrats.
No surgeries, no nothing, diet and working out. So
awesome. Congrats.
Congratulations. That is,
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to lose 10 pounds and I'm struggling my ass off. So like 100, God bless you. That is amazing. I'm proud of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. But speaking of dieting, I'm starving.
Yeah, me too.
So I think we're going to put a wrap on this. We'll touch on the Crosby trade to the Ravens next week. Sadly, we're going to have a stretch without being in studio. Next time I physically see you in person, we'll be at my wedding.
And next time we talk, it'll actually be, I think, because if we do it again next Tuesday, that'll be the 17th. I believe that is the finale of the World Baseball Classic. So we'll have that to talk about as well. We'll get into more basketball. We'll get into March Madness. It'll be a big March Madness week, I'm sure, as well, because I think brackets come out Sunday, is it?
Yeah, conference tournaments wrap up this week.
Yeah, so I think Sunday brackets come out for the men. Monday they come out for the women. By the way, shout out to Gino Ariema. Shout out to the UConn women's team. 34-0 to end the season.
Oh my
looking
God.
for another title.
Has Gino even hit double-digit losses on his career yet?
Oh yeah, he has. He has, but again, not by much.
That's crazy. That's
So
just
no,
crazy.
they're just on a roll. So shout out to them. I've always been a fan of the UConn women's team ever since I watched Dana Taurasi 20-something years ago. So shout out to them, and we'll be getting into a lot more of that. But yeah, till then, I'm gonna go eat some food. Shout out to Marissa. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to Carl Sr. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to I'm
Chris
sure Janice
and
is
Janice.
listen. Janice. Shout out to Amanda, if she checked in, maybe she listened a little while the baby was putting the baby to bed.
Yeah, she's by herself with the baby, so she
Baby
does
Mama
this-
H, shout out to anybody and everybody out there showing love. We appreciate it. Please like, follow, subscribe, share on Spotify,
Apple.
YouTube, Apple, all the sites.
Facebook,
TikTok,
anything.
TikTok's a big
All of
one, and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to them. We're gonna be going live on all those platforms within the next few weeks, so that's very exciting. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share for all that info. And until next time, my friend, live like a champ. I know I will be in sunny Florida. Ha!
Till next week, everybody.
It
Be
annoys
safe.
Dave, and I hate that
Be good.
because I don't mean to annoy Dave either.
No, but you
But
gotta
like-
milk it. You might as well.
But
And, I'm
especially when I
happy-
send you the
I'm happy
picture
for
of me
you.
in the palm tree,
Yes,
when I
that's-
set up the computer so that it's got the palm
that's where
tree
you
in the back.
really wrote it in when I got that picture. I'm like, this is- But I'm always happy.